Good morning. I had a little problem with the system crashing, but I'm back.
Well, you got a nice little you got a nice background behind you.
Yeah.
Good morning, Yuri.
Hey, good morning, Walter.
Good morning.
So Walter, you're going to tell us about a Small Business Saturday a little bit, I guess. So you remember that.
I do, sir. Yeah.
I was going to have him run the meeting if you didn't come on, Yuri.
Yeah. Well, I was on. You were all frozen. I realized I was frozen. But good.
Not too bad.
Everybody. So Rolando, we were exchanging some texts over the couple of days because Bitcoin seems to be going up a lot. And
yeah, I'm hoping that people, when we talked about it months ago, that people jumped on it, because when we were talking about it, it was at $9,000. Now it's at $18,000 and going up, and all those what I would say big hedge fund managers and people that not only manage their money but manage money for high wealth individuals started getting into it. I still think it's a hedge, and the reason why it's going up so high, a hedge for if the monetary system has some instability. So now it's acting like gold. So I wouldn't pile in, and I think you had your chance when we talked about it a few months ago. I think if you're going to get Bitcoin now, you should just set a schedule where you accumulate every 2 weeks, or every week. There's a thing called Swan Bitcoin, where you could tell them, I want to get $100 worth of Bitcoin every Friday. And then you don't have to worry about the volatility of it going up and down. But at this point, trying to time the market in Bitcoin, you've missed your chance. Now that the big hedge fund manager people have gotten into it, they're using it as a store of value, like they used to buy gold just as a store of value. So I mentioned Paul Tudor Jones, who kind of started all of this. He's a big hedge fund. He's a big fund manager, not necessarily a hedge fund, but a fund manager that said 2% of his assets are allocated in Bitcoin. So those people are not going to sell. So you're not going to see the big time volatility that you saw before. And then the old school Bitcoiners who have been into this for a while, they're called hodlers, hold on for dear life. They're not going to sell. They're holding their Bitcoin to a future that they're projecting 5 to 10 years from now, which is, where I sit. I sit with Bitcoin as just a store of value, that it's just another asset to have. But as I said 3 months ago, if you're a small business, you got to do what the big businesses are. You got to look at what the big businesses are doing and make adjustments. So you've got a bunch of big businesses that have bought Bitcoin and have put it in their banks as a store of value, just in case there's something with the monetary system that makes their money in the bank not as valuable, that they have something that could increase in value. And when you're talking about negative interest rates, where you're actually, if you put money in the bank, you're not actually making money, but they're actually charging you to store the money in their bank, you're going to look for things that are going to increase in value. The thing that I am looking at now, and we talked about it a couple months ago, is a contested election. What happens in that situation? It was predicted by many, and here we are. You have Biden, and that looks like he's completely won, and we should just move on. But you have the other side contesting it, and Trump is staying to form. He's not going to leave quietly, for sure. So really nothing is getting done in terms of stimulus, in terms of how to attack COVID. in terms of the Fed and the Secretary of the Treasury getting together and figuring out what to do going forward in terms of stimulus plans. And that puts everybody in a very precarious position, and it definitely puts businesses in a precarious position. So I would say be ready. If you're a small business, just act like this is March all over again, because if they decide that they're going to close things down, or if you're a restaurant and they decide they're going to close you down, how are you going to react? So you should have a plan in place on what you're going to do if we go through shutdowns, or like they did in California, they have a 10 o'clock curfew. There are some states that are deciding that they're going to close down restaurants again. So, and other businesses and non-essential businesses. So you've got to be prepared. So don't think this is coming out of left field. You should be ready for this time.
So, Rolando, any news in the front of vaccine?
Yeah, actually, it's going to roll out quicker than I thought. So I was in the hospital, and they're already talking about getting the vaccine to essential workers in the hospital. And the way they were talking about it at our hospital, it was sooner rather than later. Usually it takes about 6 or 7 months for a vaccine to come out, even after approval. They've asked for emergency approval of the vaccine, so maybe you might see it sooner than later. The one vaccine, they've already, and since they're making this vaccine in a different way than they have in others, they can actually reproduce and make large quantities of this vaccine a lot quicker. So we may see this sooner. And then you may see that if you want to travel, or if you want to do certain things, just like us working in a hospital, they say we have to get vaccinated if we want to work in the hospital. You may see that might happen if you want to travel, or you want to get on an airplane or something, that you'll have to take this vaccine. What's interesting is the Asian economy is completely back. They're pretty much acting as normal. But, they've been doing masks and contact tracing and some and social distancing, and they haven't had a vaccine. So they're back to normal without a vaccine. So, what I'm hoping is that this is the first time we've had a pandemic on our shores since 1918. I'm hoping that we learn from this, because in Asia, they've had several pandemics, or let's call them epidemics. And so they're used to doing the masking, the social distancing, the quarantining when they get sick. I'm hoping that we've learned something from what happened in March, and we get a little bit better about doing it. But, as United States is a free society, China is not. China is a lot easier to impose federal and national laws. We're a republic, so we don't, states have rights. And so even if the federal government says this is a federal mandate, really hard to impose that. So it could be state by state in what we're doing. So, but I think people in general, and that's why I wrote the book, Optimum Health in the Pandemic Age, you can protect yourself and protect your loved ones and protect your business by doing things in your little business and in your little circle of influence to make things better.
Thank you, Rolando. And with that, I wanted to just make you all aware that you're participating today. Please mute yourself if you're not speaking. You're participating today in our ongoing series that we started back in March as a way to support our small businesses, Hispanic, minority, and women-owned businesses with content relevant to their operations and the challenges they're facing, solutions, resources, and anything that we can come up with or find through our partners and to our connections with local government and private and also national entities, because this is affecting us all, not only the business, of course, also the consumer, the labor force. And I appreciate you being part of it today. And before getting into Small Business Saturday, which is a initiative that started in 2010, I believe, I would like to invite you to join us um, in December, sometime in December, probably around the first 2 weeks. We plan on supporting our local American Red Cross by donating blood, uh, taking the lead by our board of directors. But we invite members and active members, of course, that care to do that thing, which is 20 minutes or so, maybe all together with the intake interview, probably 30 minutes situation there at the facilities, Red Cross facilities, with proper social distancing. They only allowed a small number of people in the rooms, probably about maybe 5, no more than that, with plenty of distance. I done that, pretty safe, and it also serves a good purpose. It's helping those that may need blood. It's a way to give back symbolically. You also get your antibody testing done for free, and you know if you ever had it or any of those things. We used to have a holiday gathering for members, and we did that for many years. But because just trying to keep you safe and being safe, and lead with the example of how to be safe, we're going to do this instead. So please join us, and you hear from us. We'll announce it. And with that, I'd like to go into what the Small Business Saturday is. Uh, I understand as an initiative by American Express, supported by the Small Business Administration, national, I guess, call to support the small business, which are vital to our communities, the backbone of our communities overall. And there are a few facts I'll share with you in a minute. It's easy. I'll put a link on the chat area. I invite you um, to let us know about your business via a name, email. I know the ones that are registered, of course, we have that information. But if you want to further let the group know about what you do, just type your business name, your phone number, or your email, maybe a couple of words about what you do. If the name of your business is a little cryptic, so nobody can figure what your business is, but just tell us what it is. And also, if you want to say something and have an announcement to share with us, raise your hand, and we'll see you. I'm looking at Diana here, and I think she's. Are you on an airplane, Diana? Because that looks really cool in there. I don't know. That's how I see it. But welcome everybody.
It's my couch. It's my couch.
Oh, you guys, it looks really cool. And Gerardo is I think one of the new members, but not new to our organization. We know him for years. Gerardo will probably bring us some news about what he's getting himself into this time, facing the pandemic, doing something creative. I'm sure, talented crowd of people we have here. We have also board member Joyce Cersei. I see her, and also a few other great friends and guests and former board members. So I have Hugo Alvarado joining, and with that, I will share a video with you in a minute. Let me find a way to share this. Today, I apologize, my system has been giving me a little hard time, and I'm trying to not make too many as I share content with you. So hopefully you can hear this, and please tell me if you do or if you don't. So this will be a short clip about what a Small Business Saturday is. I follow that with a link to where you sign up, which is simple. You have great content and great promotional examples of how you advance your business this is happening. This is for next Saturday. So Saturday the 28th, that's where it happens all day.
For communities to thrive, small businesses need to thrive. That's why in 2010, American Express founded Small Business Saturday, a day dedicated to helping small businesses get more customers through their doors on the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
He's helping the community, he's helping the people, and he's helping us.
It's been great all day. We had a line for the first time ever.
Everyone stands up to pitch in.
Hold on! You're gonna see bus drivers, you're gonna see students.
It's not just a shopping experience, it's really more of a social experience. It makes the neighborhood more vibrant.
On Small Business Saturday, do your part and help make it matter.
Shop small, baby. Way to go.
For communities to thrive, small businesses need to thrive. That's why in 2010, American Express founded Saturday, a day dedicated to helping small businesses.
Let me I think that's Joyce. Okay, good. And then another little piece, because I realized some of this content, what is of course, as you can see, because of the interactions, it's pre-pandemic, and people used to visit places, talk to each other, and all of that we no longer should do. But I noticed that there was no much of our Hispanic community reflected in that, when we have an estimated 1,500 Hispanic-owned businesses in town, very active, vital to many of the neighborhoods here. And then I found that there is a little bit of from the SBA here that at least has some of us, I think, reflected here.
Small Business Saturday is a great time to refocus your efforts on your local community, and a great chance to drive awareness of the local shops in your area. And when you're done shopping, don't forget to dine small. That means grabbing a bite to eat at your locally owned restaurant. So let us do our part to keep our neighborhood brick and mortar shops at the top of their game.
Make sure to close this, and then we'll go to the page, and the page is AmericanExpress.com. It's at the SBA. I want you to get familiar with the SBA district, Tennessee District Office. You can Google that as Small Business Administration, Tennessee District Office, and you will find a lot of resources there. We have great attendance this morning. I'm very proud of you all being here, joining, more people joining. If you care, this is simple, it's free. There are the links there. We'll post it on our social media page. You have posters and digital cards that you can create to incentivize and to encourage your clients to support a Small Business Saturday 28th. Everybody wants to find a way to sell more, and I think the way to do this now will be through my shop, which we discussed. Karina, which is attending today, and we'll continue presenting some new and more resources as the weeks pass. I think she's scheduled for next week with some more content. But here's the web page. I'm gonna copy. You need to input a couple of items of information, which is your tax ID, just the 6 last digits, to sign into this. So every business has that. So that will be a problem to find for you if you have a business. And then your zip code. And then you log in, then they'll place you in a map. It's sort of like a Google map where all the participants and all the thousands of dollars, I'm sure, is invested in promoting this effort nationwide. People can find your listing, which is good because you're becoming part of a larger effort to push the support of shopping small, shopping at businesses. In this case, we care, and we care that you support any small business, of course, but it's a Hispanic business in your neighborhood. We really encourage you to do that. Buy a gift, great deals, discounts. That's up to the business, of course, but be creative and find a way to advance the agenda of keeping your business afloat, gaining more customers. So Walter Perry, former SBA director, Tennessee District Office, I would like to invite you to share a little bit about your experience if you have any advice that you want to give us about this interesting effort, sometimes not well known. And before that, before you go online, I'm gonna make you all aware that our good friend CNES Link from the News 5 is here. Also, she said, hello, good morning, Zena. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for telling me about this opportunity.
Great. So I hope we all do our part to support the small businesses next week, which is the 28th. I think we need that. Our community needs that. That's a small Hispanic, women-owned, minority-owned, just the little shop in your neighborhood. Find that to be your first place to stop by, buy a gift, share it with your friends. So I was introducing our good friend, longtime friend and former SBA Tennessee District Office Director, Mr. Walter Perry. Good morning.
Hey. Well, good morning, everyone. And as Yuri's introduced Small Business Saturday, when I was with the Small Business Administration in Nashville, we really more or less rode the wave that American Express had set up, as Yuri said, going back to 2010. And as you go into the week here of Thanksgiving, you will see there's more promotions and publicity about Small Business Saturday. And I would encourage people just to dovetail on that because the news media will pick it up. Certainly chambers of commerce will advocate it. And it's an opportunity for everyone to get out and shop small. Really, it goes back to Black Friday was the day for the larger retail merchants and establishments. And this is an opportunity to focus specifically on small businesses on Saturday. So it's more or less a chance for everyone to ride that wave of publicity because it is a national campaign. All of the partners that Yuri mentioned are certainly promoting this. So it's an opportunity for everyone to jump on board and hopefully get a little bit of a bounce in their bottom line coming up on November 28th.
Thank you, Walter. And do you see, as you recall, what would you say? Let's talk about what is not perfect, and what do you remember as a maybe one or two top challenges that a small business faces when they want to participate in a mainstream effort, for instance, because small business is not, they have to juggle everything that they do. I'm assuming that just looking into how to utilize these resources that are online, organize how to do it, all of that takes time, and it takes also being savvy about it. The statistics show that only 64% of the small businesses have a website, for instance. That's not right? It should be better now, especially when we are facing a pandemic in which we cannot do transactions in person.
Sure. So, time is approaching 1 week from today, as you've noted, Yuri. So there are some things that small business owners could do immediately to take advantage of next Saturday. Social media is big. So if you're going to maybe post something on your social media pages, maybe you have a particular sale or a particular product line that you're looking to have available that Saturday at a discounted price. If you've got a brick and mortar storefront, put something out on the sidewalk. Just as the images that you have behind you, Yuri, with the main street there, use that sidewalk marketing to bring people in. And hopefully we'll have nice weather that will encourage people to even get out even more. As we used to say, when it's a nice sunny day and good warm temperatures, this time of year, it's a Chamber of Commerce day. Because it gets people out because they want to get out and shop and be involved in the community where they live and support those who operate businesses where they live in the communities. So use the social media, use the visible sidewalk marketing, maybe have a sale or two, or to move some product line. And again, the whole point is to connect with the community so that your bottom line will hopefully get a bounce on November 28th.
Yes, thank you so much, Walter. So I posted the links on the site in order to just review that later when you have the time. Maybe this is not the right time right now, but you can just click in that and it will open if you're on the laptop. And I see many of you, and see your faces. Great to see you this morning. And click, and then you can review that later, learn more about it, send us a message, visit our page online, our social media, Facebook, or if you prefer LinkedIn, also on Instagram. Any way you want to reach out, we'll be happy to just chat with you a little bit about how you can participate in this and support someone else, or learn and then support your own business and your team. Just let us know. We're reaching the end of the session. We're about 5 minutes. Hey, hi, Gabby. I can see you now. Good morning. Anyone has a comment, please raise your hand, and we'll try to be brief, like less than a minute, and we'll be happy to hear what you have to say. Good. Any questions? Any comments? Any news? Any promotions? I hope I understood right, but I think I'm going to be chatting with Zena a little later today. You want to tell us what it is about?
Yeah, so I Business Saturday next week. So we're trying to get a big push for support when it comes to small businesses. Obviously, they've been taking such a huge hit when it comes to COVID-19, especially minority-owned businesses. And so, because we know that COVID-19 has disproportionately affected minorities. And so I'd love to just talk to you about any advice. The speaker who just went, you were fabulous. I was writing some notes down of advice that you were giving just about social media and setting up on the sidewalk. So things like that. We would love to just hear some advice that you guys have for small businesses ahead of Small Business Saturday.
Thank you, Zena. And remember that back in, I think it was March 3rd. No. Sorry, it was around that time when we visited, where we accompanied you to visit one of our members' business, which is Perlitas Fashion,
Yes.
in South Nashville. And it was just when there was a tornado that hit, and maybe it was before the tornado. I think it was March 1st. And
Yeah, I think.
Yep. But you were talking about the impact of the consumer, but also the business, small business, because of the L-band Stanford partnered research national effort to account for the impact of small businesses, especially Hispanic-owned businesses. But and now with COVID, then of course it got impacted. And so the hands, there are only a few hands that are in charge of a lot of things more. So resources to handle a team or have the infrastructure to do what bigger companies can do is not available to small business. So we need to come and help, because our focus is the small business community primarily, which, as I said earlier, and some of you know very well, is the backbone of our economic strength nationally. And the majority of businesses in the United States are small businesses. So, and then in case you didn't know, there is an estimated 4.7 million Hispanic-owned businesses in the whole country, throughout the United States. And in Nashville, we estimate that there is at least 1,500, if not more, Hispanic-owned businesses. So with that, if you have no more comments or questions, Sina, you hadn't say anything?
No, I'm just so happy that you're putting on events like this. I think it's really, really important. Nobody expected COVID to be going on for this long. It's going to be going on until 2021. Small businesses need our help more than ever. And, you said it, they are the backbone of our economy. So thank you so much for having this. And I will do what I can to promote Small Business Saturday for next week.
Thank you. So tell us your role in your company.
So I am a TV news reporter for News Channel 5. So if any of you have any events coming up and need promotion, please feel free to use me as a resource in the community. Reach out to me and I'll do what I can to cover it, promote it, and give you some help.
And thank you, Zena. And that's one step I always say, we don't know, we have misperceptions sometimes of things that we don't know. And just because we don't know, and it's a circumstance, and we can understand that, it's not necessarily somebody's fault, but that circumstance became overcome by, for instance, when you did the story, then you came back and got, I think you're heard on at Perlitas, or the salon that is part also of Perla's business. And that's just a way to get to know someone and get to learn about someone. So make sure you know who is around and who is a member of your community and try to support that. I think that's all I can say. So Rolando, closing remarks? Dr. Rolando Toy is our chairman and he's on mute. Okay.
I'm unmuted now. These Saturday meetings are important because as small businesses, we're going to have to band together. What's happening with COVID is that a lot of small businesses are going under and the bigger businesses are benefiting from that. So the Walmarts of the world and things, and the big restaurant chains. So we have to support each other. I think the Small Business Saturday is a great way to do it. But it's got to be a small business Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so that we can all survive. And small businesses employ most of the people in this country. I know that's decreasing as small businesses are shutting down, but I think we continue to support each other every Saturday. Like Walter and I were talking about at the beginning, I learned something new. So this is great, and I hope to see you guys next Saturday.
Thank you, Rolando. And thank you, everybody, for joining us. Hope you have a great rest of the day and the weekend. And be safe. Be patient. It's going to take just a little bit more. Not too long, I hope. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Keep a distance. Don't go anywhere that you don't need to. And I hate to even admit someone right to the meeting when we're about to adjourn the meeting, but we have one person joining that I'm gonna just let in and say hi. We're about to, whoever the phone number is joining us, we're closing the meeting now, but we hope you keep in touch. Visit our social pages because we have great tips there, good content that we it's free. We're a membership organization, but we have a great partnership with our NAHCC Foundation, so we can also serve the rest of the community. We have our board chair in attendance, Lorraine Segovia Paz for the foundation, and our Hispanic Chamber board chair, Dr. Rolando Toyos, who joined us today. Gracias, everybody. Espero que disfruten el fin de semana. And don't forget, next week, Shop Small Business Saturday, November 28th, all day, and as long as you wanted it to be. Adios.